Okay, we're back here at Information Week's Valley View. We're live here in our San Francisco audiences with San Francisco studios with a live studio audience. And our next guest is Sanjay Poonen. He is the president of SAP. Earlier today from Frankfurt, Germany, SAP announced its best earnings ever. It had its best year in 2011. It was a spectacular performance. And so Sanjay, I want to welcome you to the show here.
Thanks, David.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So I'm going to just go right into the questions here. You had 16% year-over-year growth. Your co-CEO, Bill McDermott, wasted no time in trashing the competition, going after Oracle and Salesforce. And one of the things we know is that Oracle's had some rather lackluster results in the same department, 2% year-over-year growth. Their explanation for that, for those lackluster results, was a shifting in the way customers procure their products and approve big purchases like those from software vendors. Clearly, you haven't encountered the same problem. Is Oracle being disingenuous about what they're encountering in the market?
Listen, I mean, we're all competitive. I think Bill exemplifies that, as does Jim, our co-CEOs. And we're focused on execution. I think part of the reason we've been successful is three things. Number one, we have an intense focus on the customer. That's not to say other competitors don't, but we've really been a customer-focused company from the inception. It's our 40-year anniversary. It's the best year in our 40-year history. And we have this campaign that you see in the TV ads, the best run businesses run SAP. And our 170,000 customers, these large customers focused with us, and we've been with them the last 8 quarters, and leading up to that, working on innovation that was very customer-centric. We focused on 3 innovation vectors: big data, mobility, cloud, very relevant to your audience and certainly relevant to a lot of CIOs today. And then we really recruited and groomed the best team. A combination of those factors, I think, has resulted in not just 1 quarter. We've had 8 quarters now of this building up, and we think now a pipeline of what can continue in 2012.
Well, one of the things that really helped was HANA. This is your in-memory appliance, and it's kind of in a 1.0 phase, and the expectations were that you guys would do about 100 million euro in business. You did 160. So real quick for the audience that may not know what HANA is, maybe the 30-second or less elevator pitch. Just a quick, what is HANA?
It's an in-memory platform, an in-memory database. Traditional databases are based on disk. And if you were building something today, you could take advantages of the dramatic shift in pricing between memory and disk, which have fallen, and allows you to build something, and you can scale this with hardware very, very easily. So we take that type of architecture, put our secret sauce into it, which is software, and now we can do big data problems in real time. So we could analyze customer patterns, analyze supplier patterns, and give this to you on your iPad so that you can make decisions quickly. This is the type of insight line of business and C-level executives are looking for.
Well, one of the things about HANA is it's a Hadoop-based technology, right? And so it's in memory, it's Hadoop-based. SAP has been positioning it now, beginning to position it as a database technology that can solve not just big data problems where you need a lot of performance and you're doing analytics across a huge amount of data, but also for your basic data warehousing, RDBMS. In some ways, it's the sort of database that can sit underneath any one of SAP's applications. In particular, you've got about 60% of your customers now running on the Oracle database platform, your apps on their platform. So do you see HANA as being sort of a really important arrow in the quiver to take share away from Oracle by supplanting that 60% and powering your apps with your own database?
Listen, we're always about customer choice. So a customer always gets to choose what they want to use in any part of it. We're number one in the application space. In the database market, we've typically not played. As you pointed out, we've resold or collaborated in many other places. And we felt, given the shift to what's happening in the hardware industry, memory to disk, and innovation, it does integrate with Hadoop. It's not based on Hadoop, but it has an innovative way in which, using sort of a Google-like search methodology, it stores data in column-based format, takes advantage of memory natively. What we can do now is allow many of our customers to get much more native advantage of this architecture. So we took one of our data warehouse products called BW, which has 16,000 customers, and we've now engineered a way by which HANA can run underneath BW natively, and performances are, incredible. We had one of our customers at Sapphire, Red Bull, the drink, the energy drink,
I had
and they
10 before we started.
I'm glad, because this type of turbocharge that you get from HANA, you'll need 160 of those. But it's the type of innovation they're able to see now means that they're able to get insights much faster. They retired their old disk-based database, put HANA underneath BW, and they're seeing phenomenal results. So this is the type of performance we're seeing at many of the customers, and we'll take the market share it grows. I think as customers see the benefits of this, I think you're going to see us gain market share there.
Is the platform, though, diverse enough to, is it flexible enough to power other database applications?
Absolutely. I mean, ironically, 70% of our HANA use cases are sourcing data that has nothing to do with SAP. So while a lot of our focus initially is certainly the SAP customer base, we're seeing a lot of interest from customers. And remember, one of the moves that SAP made 5 years ago was to enter the analytics space through the acquisition of Business Objects. 80% of the Business Objects base sit on top of Oracle, PeopleSoft, non-SAP systems. And that's a very good target for us to also introduce HANA.
So this is going to play a major role in the goal that you established in December 2011, which is to become the #2 database player. I mean, you're going to have to leapfrog Teradata, IBM, and Microsoft to move into the #2 spot behind Oracle. Is this?
I mean, listen, like Jack Welch said, like any company that's a winner wants to be #1 or #2 in every market, right? So we will let the market share and our success speak for itself. We have a bold plan by 2015 to be #1 in all of our markets, a leader. And we're not going to play in a market unless we're #1 or #2. So it's good to be able to get the sales force pumped up, our developers pumped up. But at the end of the day, customers choose. And we hope through the innovation that we have and customer centricity in the way we interact with customers, we'll get a lot more of their wallet share.
Well, let's talk about SAP in the cloud. You mentioned that a little bit earlier, and I would argue that the company wasn't maybe as aggressive in 2011 as they might have been, but towards the end there was the SuccessFactors CEO, and Bill McDermott said, we want to be dominant there too. In fact, I think there's like a $2 billion target there, which kind of puts it in the Salesforce.com field. And so far you've got an all-in-one suite. You've got Business by Design, you've got some LOB apps, you've got some kind of niche vertical apps, you bought Data Tango. So you're getting there, but I would argue that SuccessFactors and Data Tango aren't enough, and that SAP may need to buy or build something around a platform as a service, something for the development of applications, something like Salesforce's Force.com or Database.com.
Listen, I think if you look at the cloud market, we believe in the second or third inning, largely because Salesforce.com, valid, good company, 2 billion or so, growing. Outside of that, the next biggest company, SuccessFactors, is big and growing. The interesting thing about SuccessFactors is they have 15 million users, okay, because they touch every employee. Salesforce.com has 25 as many customers, but has only 3 million users, largely because they only touch the salespeople inside a company. So we see an immense amount of potential to take this asset that can actually touch not just salespeople, but every employee, and now take this not to just 4,000 customers, 15% of whom are SAP customers, but to all 170,000 customers. So our vision is much larger than the current cloud players. We will have a number of line of business applications beyond just talent management, which SuccessFactors brings. We introduced a Salesforce collaboration solution that's doing very well. We think it's a completely innovative solution relative to Salesforce.com. We'll have a travel and expense application coming out in Q1. We have a sourcing application, all on top of a platform by design. So there is a connection between many of these pieces. And the final part that's important is that we allow our customers our choice of actually taking some of our on-premise software, CRM and RDS as rapid deployment solutions, and deploying them in private clouds. So for example, some of our customers take our CRM solutions and deploy it in the Amazon cloud or in the Rackspace cloud. Very valid use case of it. We don't get religious about the false cloud or the true cloud. It's a valid way in which our customers can lower cost. Many of the cloud vendors don't have that option because it's only their cloud or nothing else. Right. So as we extend our vision, we think as we approach the third and fourth and fifth inning, we have bold plans. And again, like any other space, we're not going to play in the cloud space except to win.
All right, so final question, so we're kind of out of time here, but SAP is known for its business applications, and you're talking about, we haven't even touched on mobile, but big data, the cloud, mobile, all these areas being #1 or #2 in all those areas. It sounds like SAP is spreading itself a bit thin.
We want us to lay out the vision of being the world's biggest, largest business software company. Okay? And as you look at how companies spend their money on business software, there's applications. That's a core part of what we do. We do it, we're 2.5 times the market share of our nearest competitor. But then what people said was, beyond these systems of record, they want systems of engagement to analyze that data. So we enter the analytics market. We saw the advent of how now people now are going to start analyzing that information on an iPad. So we felt there was a natural progression to move into the mobility market. People said, hey, listen, we would love to be able to analyze this data on top of a modern database. We moved into the in-memory database area. Many of the applications were moving to the cloud. So there is a path here where it doesn't just seem like a random walk. There are many of these things which are very connected. We're not moving into markets that are not close to our adjacency. And we find that when we pitch the story to a customer, they're excited about our vision. So it's important as a company becomes from a one-product company to a multi-product company, your adjacencies and what you move into are something that a line of business buyer or a CIO buys into. And we found that very exciting, and that's part of the reason we had our best year in 40 years.
Great.
Okay, well, Sanjay, thank you very much for joining us. We hope that you'll come back next year
Thank you
after
very
you
much.
deliver the next set of results, and we'll have the same conversation.
Thank you, David and Fritz. Appreciate being here.
Okay.